In this module, we will discuss best practice approaches to setting up your team's migration using on-demand migration. Let's begin with accessing the Teams module of your project. To begin, we need to perform a discovery to identify all of the existing teams. The first step is to perform a discovery of all of the existing teams on the source tenant. Access that via the Discover link here on the dashboard, or access the Teams node and perform the Discover from the grid. The first step is to perform a discovery of all of the existing teams on the source tenant. Access that by the Discover link here on the dashboard, or under the Teams module. The first step is to perform a discovery to identify all of the existing teams on the source tenant. You can do this by clicking the Discover button here from the dashboard, or under the Teams node, the Discover button here on the ribbon. Click Discover. The task wizard opens. Select Next to continue. Execute now, later, or on schedule, and complete. After a few moments, the discovery will complete and the display of all of the existing teams from the source tenant will display here in the Teams node. After content has been discovered, one of the best practices is to identify the mapping between source and target teams. To begin, you can do this either directly by selecting existing teams by name and performing the provision option. One of the approaches to organizing your team's migration is through the use of collections. On-demand supports the use of grouping information into what we call a collection. On the upper right-hand corner, you have the option to create or provision a new collection if one does not exist. Select the new collection link and provide a collection name. I will just use something such as random here as an example. And maybe I need another collection, maybe more departmental specific. Now, On-Demand has two new collections of information, including all of the existing content previously discovered. One of the best practice approaches to organizing how you want to perform your migrations of Teams data is through the use of collections. I'm going to go back to the dashboard here, and what you'll notice is we are looking at all of the current data previously discovered. In the upper right-hand corner, you have the option to create a new collection. I would do this one for departmental content, call this corporate departments. I would do another just for random teams. Currently, the display is for all teams within the overall collection called Show All. However, we can go to random teams. The dashboard will display information contained within that particular collection. Currently, we have not added any teams to this collection, so the information is empty. Provide information into this collection in one of two ways. One is going to be the manual process. So to do that, we go to the Teams node. Again, it's pre-populated based off of the collection, which we know to be empty. Let's go back to Show All. And from here, we can grab any of the teams from the prior discovery and add to collection. We will add these to random teams, hit save, and now the 4 teams have been added to the collection. We can jump back directly to that dashboard with the link. This link now displays the random teams collection and information related to just those teams. So as you click on the node for teams, it will automatically display the listing of teams from that one selection. Again, now let's do this in a slightly different manner. If we go to corporate departments, again, the value of that collection is different or empty. Let's walk through how we could populate a collection through a file. So let's go to corporate department. As we've not populated any teams here, this listing is empty. Going back to the dashboard for that collection called corporate departments, we have an option to fill from file. Instead of manually having to select teams and add those, you can automatically apply teams to a collection with the file option here. Select fill from file. You would have created a CSV prior. Please follow the documentation to understand how to create that file. Browse for the file. Teams collection mapping. And now populate. On-demand teams will run a process behind the scenes to automatically add those teams to this one collection. On-demand has populated this collection with the teams provided in the CSV file. We can go to the teams node to see the listing of teams. Another best practice approach is renaming the target team name if necessary. To support this operation, on-demand teams will by default, upon the discovery, provide the target team name. If no team by the same name exists on the target, on-demand migration for teams will use the existing name as the source, as you see here, alpha to alpha, communications to communications, and fish to fish. If you're needing to change the target team name via the migration, we support this through a CSV file. Using an export directly from on-demand teams of the existing team names, I can simply change the target team name value for each team. To complete the team name operation, to perform the team name remapping, we have to go back to the dashboard and back to Show All. Access the team node once again. Using the More Actions option, we can now map from file, which will provide us with a new target team name. Browse for your file, open, click Next, and finish. On-demand migration for teams will perform the operation behind the scenes. Upon completion, we can now go to our selection, and you will now see that the target team name has been updated. This concludes a few of the best practices for organizing your team's migration within on-demand teams.